just didn't want to shave anymore. It was a nuisance. It was a bother. It was painful.
This is like my first real earthquake, and it's interesting, man.
Years and years ago, I was drunk.
As if the nation doesn't already have enough problems, we have to endure another half-hour edition of the award-winning Talk Soup now. Checking out highlights of the talk shows, or at least the ones we could get access to out here in Southern California. Greg Kinnear back with you. Hope we find you in good condition here. As you know, there is record cold temperatures back in the east, records all over the East Coast. We have earthquakes out here in the west, and locusts. Well, coming up, more earthquake stories in a moment, plus battling psychics and the story of flying meat. So don't go away. First up, though, things got pretty hairy on the Mo Show yesterday. Her guests included a guy who I guess is almost covered head to toe in hair. Mo also interviewed Michelle, a woman who sports a beard.
Now, how long have you had a beard?
Since I was 18.
Since you were 18?
Yeah.
The hair just started growing
It just started growing, and I started shaving.
Uh-huh.
First I started plucking, and that was too painful. Then I went to bleaching, and that was too painful, so
then
I tried the razor, yeah.
And you had to shave?
Twice a day.
Twice a day?
Yeah.
Right. And how do people respond to you in public?
It depends. Sometimes they're very horrified.
Yeah?
You know, they ask, instead of asking questions, they just sit back and laugh and talk and stuff, you know, about me.
Well, where did this come from? Because usually...
It's a hormone imbalance.
Right, right. And so now, you stop, when did you stop getting rid of the hair?
When I stopped shaving, you mean?
Yeah, when did you stop
5
shaving?
year ago.
Right. And how did you come to that decision?
I just didn't want to shave anymore. It was a nuisance. It was a bother. It was painful. It was monotonous, and I decided I didn't want to shave it anymore.
Right. Now, do you like the way you look now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's you.
I like it. It's me.
Right.
It's different.
Oh, yeah. In the audience was Michelle's husband. He had this to say about his wife's unusual facial hair.
Well, you know, when you met Michelle, did she have a beard?
No, she didn't. She was always shaving. But I knew that she had to shave every day, but it never bothered me.
No?
No.
And when she decided to actually let it grow, how did you feel about that?
Fine. She looks good with it to me. I've been trying to grow one myself for quite a few years and haven't been able to.
Highlight of the Mo Show there. Incidentally, we do have a possible body double. First up, Michelle, and then the guy from ZZ Top. Oh, just missed. Friday, Mo's going to hear from people who go gaga over their pets. Her guests will include a pet psychic who will read the minds of animals. Good to know in these trying times that some things remain the same, isn't it? Despite the earthquake that rocked Los Angeles, Jay Leno and his staff were able to piece together a Tonight Show on Tuesday night. One of Jay's guests included actor Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, as it turns out. Told Jay about how he survived his first major quake.
Now, were you in town yesterday? Were you in New York?
Yes, I was, and that was interesting.
Yeah, is that your first one?
Well, I was in an aftershock before.
Yeah.
You know, I missed the earthquake, and I was in an aftershock, so this is like my first real earthquake, and it's interesting, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, you know, because, you know, like the entertainment center that the other gentleman was talking about, I had one of those fall like 3 inches from me.
It's scary.
You know, it was, you know, because I was like the father that goes to save the kids, you know, so I jumped up and I run and, you know, I'm going football style, right? So I dip over the coffee table and then I run around and I duck under the door and then I take a flip and people are trying to tackle me, but I get to my son and I grab him up and I saved him and I was so excited I spiked him.
Really? Spiked him down? Oh, God.
That is Will Smith, in addition to his weekly appearances on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You can see him in the film 6 Degrees of Separation, not to mention the fact that his offices are right next to mine at NBC, which is Friday on The Tonight Show. Jay's going to welcome Liam Neeson. The Irish actor will talk about his starring role in what is only be described as a fantastic film, Schindler's List. The NBC choir. That's what they call them. Does the infidelity diet really work? You ever thought about that? Up next, Jerry Springer meets a woman who shed 75 unwanted pounds and a husband, as it turns out. It's too early to tell whether the weight is going to stay off, but from the looks of things, she's already gaining back the husband.
When did the affair finally end? Did it?
Yes, it did.
When?
About 2 years ago.
And what brought it to an end?
I got pregnant.
Dare I ask who the father is?
I would be glad to tell you. As things stand right now, I was separated from David at the time and was living with the other person. And when I got pregnant, I told him about it, and right then and there, he dropped me. Didn't want to have anything more to do with me. The day I had the baby, I called to talk to his uncle, and he hung up on me.
Why do you clap at that? Why do you clap when the father of the child says, I don't want to have anything to do with you?
Well, because if she cared for him, I think she deserves to be hurt, because she's making me sick, because she's got such a wonderful, caring husband, and she goes and cheats on him. I think he needs to leave her, because there are plenty of other women who would want to date a man like him.
Well, there you have it. Man in the clip is now helping to raise his wife's love child, but if she ever mentions the words Jenny Craig again, he's out of there. Friday, Jerry's guests will be pregnant teenagers and their mothers. Find out how they plan on handling the responsibility of raising a child. Coming up on The Soup, we're going to hear sordid tales involving Hollywood Madam Heidi Fleiss plus Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons, next. Oh, it's a shaken edition of Talk Soup, folks. I hope you're okay out there. Tuesday, Maury Povich. Welcome Ivan Naj to the program, or Nog if you prefer. He apparently is the former boyfriend of alleged Hollywood Madam Heidi Fleiss. Oh, this is the guy you keep seeing in the news. Of course. Big teeth. Also on the show was Lady X, one of Heidi's former employees who wore a fashionable black veil to disguise her appearance. Maury wanted to know about Nog's reputation as Heidi's enforcer. Please take a look now.
You were Mr. Tough Guy when it came to the girls. If the girls got out of line, they had to deal with you.
I'm a pussycat.
Oh, yeah,
right.
Sure. Right. Is that what you heard, Lady X?
Well, Yvonne was always somebody I did try to avoid, because through the years of working with Alex and Heidi, he was the guy that did some of the pushing around when it needed to be done.
Can you describe for me, Lady X, what kind of girl a Heidi girl is?
It's a wide variation of girls.
Well,
it's from like 18 to 27, and some college girls.
Now, I've known you. I've seen you, right? Yeah. Aren't you a little more than 27?
Yes.
Right? What does that mean? What are you doing to me, Yvonne, here?
27. Last time she saw 27 was on December's calendar.
Now, look, Yvonne, are you saying that she wasn't one of Heidi's girls?
I'm saying she's not in the age range.
Right. Okay.
I never seen her, so you give me your answer.
I don't have an answer for Mr. Nog, but I do have a question, and that is, who is under the black veil? Fred, do you have a better shot in there? Is that by any chance clear? Oh, it's Tom McNamara! Goodness. Usually has a little powder on his nose when he does those. But Nagy was arrested for pandering, but he was never apparently charged. By the way, Naj is a TV director. His credits include Starsky and Hutch, and I realize I've pronounced his name a couple of different ways, but as it turns out, legally, you can pronounce Nog of various different ways. In fact, we have a list here. There is, of course, Nagji. There is, of course, Neji, followed by Neij, and Negi is a very popular pronunciation, Najay, and Nugi, and finally, John Esposito is one of the bigger pronunciations. Friday, apparently, Maury will be exploding the fat myth once and for all and forever. That's exploding the fat myth. It'll take place Friday on Maury Povich. A little earlier, we heard about the, I guess what's known as the infidelity diet. Right now, we're going to meet a man who lost nearly a half a ton the hard way with the help of feisty fitness guru Richard Simmons. Well, I know. Trouble is, not all the way to State Off. Currently, Michael weighs in at about half of his all-time girth. Tuesday, Sally Jesse Raphael invited Michael and Richard to talk about his roller coaster weight loss saga. Take a look at this.
And for the first time in his life, Michael got down to, from over 1,000 pounds, down to 198 pounds.
What?
And at 198 pounds, he wanted to live his life like he had never lived it before. He wanted to go to Disneyland. That was one of his big dreams. And at 198 pounds, he did. He wanted to ride in a ride with his son. He wanted to be there for his wife, who had taken care of him in his bed for so many years. And he had lost all this weight, and then he thought everything was going to be okay, as so many people do. And one sandwich led to two sandwiches led to 5 sandwiches. I still called him every week. We talked every week. He would tell me that he was doing fine, but he would never see me. I would come into the city, and he would tell me he couldn't see me. He was too busy. He wouldn't answer his phone. And then some members of his family would write me, and they would say, he's in trouble, and he's not telling you, because he thinks that if you know he's gained the weight back, that you won't be his friend anymore.
Richard Simmons. Michael's managed to keep off 450 of the pounds he lost. He originally weighed over 1,000 pounds. Friday on Sally's show, we'll interviews with the tightest of all tightwads keep you glued to your set? We hope so. Are they being thrift, or are they just plain cheap? Tune in Friday. Richard Harris, a very distinguished actor of the stage and screen, and an accomplished singer as well. He's received Oscar after Oscar, Emmy, Grammy nominations. So what did he talk to Larry King about just yesterday? Why, of course, the time he got all liquored up in Dublin and woke up in the Bahamas, of course.
Now, you shot this in Miami. Yeah. You live in the Bahamas, so this was like duck soup, right?
Well, 40 minutes away from my home, yeah.
Why do you live in the Bahamas, by the way?
Well, I went there. I went years and years ago. I was drunk. Lying.
You're kidding.
No, I was.
Richard Harris.
I was drunk. And I was lying in the streets in Dublin. And a friend of mine called Kevin McClory passed by, saw me, put me into his car, took me out of his estate. I don't know how he managed it, how he got my passport, but I sobered up in the Bahamas, which meant I had to go from Dublin to London, change a flight, go from there to New York, change a flight, and get to the Bahamas. But I got to the Bahamas, don't remember anything about it. But I was there, and I thought...
And you liked it and stayed.
I liked it and bought Huntington Harper's house. And I've been there ever since, 72.
Richard Harris and Larry King live. He can currently be seen in the film Wrestling Ernest Hemingway, along with Robert Duvall, and that's supposed to be a great movie. Friday, Larry King's going to examine President Clinton's first year in office. His guest will be Ronald Reagan's former chief of staff. When we come back, some psychics will argue over the fate of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and a teenager takes a little off the top of his future stepfather. Coming up here next.
All right, back it up. Pull it back here. Which part do you want to cut?
All of it.
Hold on. Can you at least leave it kind of straight in the back? Yeah, leave it straight in the back.
I predict this next clip will come from the Shirley Show. I also predict that it'll feature our favorite shrimp-eating celebrity, Jackie Stallone. I further predict that a guy will drop, I see turkey bones. I see them on the floor. Lastly, I predict a group of psychics will argue over the future of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
His marriage will last
and he will grow in stature to such a point with his new restaurants that he's opening that he will be somebody to look up to.
And I
he will not
disagree.
stumble. He will not fall.
I think he's going backwards. I think he's going to be on the nobody cares list in another year. My son's a partner in his restaurant, incidentally. I'd say Sylvester will make the restaurants go, not Arnold.
I think Arnold will do it.
I'd say that Sylvester will get bigger, and this time, next year you're going to say Arnold who, and you can throw those bones here. I like to take them.
She wants your bones, Shamada.
I'll try them.
All right.
Well, who's
I was
that?
right.
Who?
I was
that
right.
Arnold?
Arnold will be all right. Arnold will be all right.
Except
the obstacle and stumbling block pulled completely away from him. I have no problem with Arnold Schwarzenegger in this situation.
Well, whose turkey bone is that sitting on the curb there?
That's Destiny.
That's not Sylvester, I suppose.
No.
As in the lead, and I think that's Arnold over there.
He'll do Arnold Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger will do very well financially and materially, but I still see a debilitating nerve disorder.
You see that about everybody.
That's real nice, Jackie. Making fun of him. That happens to be one of the great experts when it comes to psychic predictions of our time. In fact, this show was taped just, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. Did he make any other predictions, Fred? Do we?
I predict 1994, California will not see one earthquake.
Correct.
Nice parting gifts for him. You've seen their infomercials. Now see them on Shirley's show. Friday, exercise experts will give you tips on how to keep in shape. Boy, did he feel silly on Monday morning. I don't know if 18-year-old Michael is being unreasonable or not. He's apparently upset that his 35-year-old mother's engaged to a 19-year-old named Jim. Moreover, Michael's cheesed off over the length of Jim's hair. Apparently doesn't approve of the Billy Ray Cyrus, short in the front, long in the back, don't break my heart, my achy, breaky heart look. But Jim, wanting the love of his future stepson, agreed to let Michael cut his hair off on the Montel Williams show. And, of course, we have that highlight for you.
Before we have this hair, you got to tell me what the significance of this hair thing is.
I don't like it.
You don't like long hair?
I don't like long hair.
So you prefer her to marry a 19-year-old short-hair guy than a 19-year-old long-hair guy?
Yeah, the privilege a little bit more anyway.
All right, back it up. Pull it back here. Which part do you want to cut?
All of it. Hold on. Can you at least leave it kind of straight in the back?
Yeah, leave it straight in the back so you can get a haircut. Leave it straight so you can get a haircut. Don't cut in the ears. Oh, you sadistic people! Wait, show the audience members. Turn up, stand around. Turn around. Just turn around a sec. Let them see it. That's it. You're at the wedding now?
I'm at it.
He says that he will, in fact, attend the wedding. However, Michael says he will sit only in the back row. So, skis on you. Friday on the Montel Williams Show, teenagers will reveal the secrets they've kept from their parents for years and years and years. One girl will admit to her mother that she is, oh, this will be fun, she's a hooker. Was that a tremor? Still to come on Talk Soup, little Edith Ann pays a visit to the Vicki Lawrence Show. It's coming up next.
Listen, has this ever happened to you? Life lets you down, and then it just goes on like nothing's happened.
We're back on Talk Soup. We're a little light on time, so I thought I'd do another big drawing here. As you know, Pure Soap is doing their Tell a Friend contest. And if I were, say, I don't know, Shelley, and I were to reach in here, Lisa from Pacific Palisades would have been the winner of various soap products. But I can't help you, I'm afraid. I'll put it on the top. Tuesday, did you hear about this? Vicki's special guest was Lily Tomlin. The comedian brought along a few of her more famous characters, including one of my favorites, little Edith Ann.
Oh, you're 6 years old
Yes,
now?
how old are you?
I'm really old. I'm so old I can start the barbecue with one of my hot flashes. How old I am.
Yeah, you sound like Grandma.
I'm Nacho Mama. I'm gonna open a Mexican restaurant in the valley called Nacho Mama. So tell us about growing up. Wait, tell us about growing up in today's. This woman is making me nuts. Tell us about the growing up in today's world.
Yes, it is tough. It is really tough. Because listen, has this ever happened to you? Life lets you down, and then it just goes on like nothing's happened. Yes.
I believe that has happened.
And when you are 6, it is a big turning point. Because you are too old to believe there are monsters under the bed, and you are too young to defend yourself in case there are. And that's why you find so many 6-year-olds behaving like they are still 5.
I suppose at my age, if there's a monster in my bedroom, it'd be the most action I've seen in there since my honeymoon.
The highlight of Vicky there, Lily Tomlin's just done her first animated TV special titled Edith and a few pieces of the puzzle. Friday, Vicky welcomed some of her favorite male TV heroes, including, one Adam 12 star Martin Milner and FBI star Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. Thanks for joining us. That's going to do it for this Talk Soup. Again, you're going to be hearing about relief efforts out here in Southern California. Give generously because we're in big trouble. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's right, it's time for E-News Daily, and all the day's important stories covered in one neat little half hour. Well, it'll be pretty neat. We dusted today.